So, also probably gonna deliberately sandbag for a minute to let people filter in.
Yeah, no worries. What do you mean by sandbag?
Like, hold back on on like introductions and funds, like real conversation for a minute.
Gotcha.
All right, so and we are live. All right. So let me see. My visuals look good. Test that my emotes that I finally got approved work. I already know that. I just want to spam them. All right. Hopefully, people in chat will let us know if you're coming through clearly,
Hopefully.
or maybe they won't, and we'll just have to suffer.
I hope everybody can hear me.
I mean, right now, I'm not sure if there is in everybody yet.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah, I gotta remember to actually announce it on Discord for once. Darn it, I need to link properly. So, to make small talk for a minute, what have you been up to today?
Not a whole damn lot. I'm gonna be honest. I woke up, saw the messages from you, and then basically just like got ready for the day, and now I'm here.
Yeah. All
How
right.
about you? What have you been up to
I
today?
have been working on a music video, which is currently a secret project, but it
Yeah.
has been very fun. I mean, I've posted a few screenshots of it, like somebody that looks the thing that was like animated by Megan Burden. That's the vibe. It is going to be a very fun project, but it'll probably take a while.
Gotcha. It's very, very retro. Is there anything more about the secret project you can say?
Um. Well, I mean, it, you know, I'm being paid for my efforts on this music video, so it's,
Gotcha.
you know, I'll reveal more in time, but so
Oh, I just got the notification that you went live.
yeah, that's why I want to like sandbag a minute because
Mhm.
it can take a bit.
Mhm.
Um,
Twitch takes its sweet ass time.
hello. Oh, Paige, you can spam lightning bolt now.
Lightning bolt, lightning bolt, lightning.
Yeah, I just gotta bolt everything. Bolt the chat.
The good old days before there were a 4 card limit.
Oh
Gotta
no.
play 10 mountains and
That
40 lightning bolts.
all right. So, why don't you introduce yourself cuz I believe we have viewers at TM now.
At this point, yeah. Hi, I'm Britton Avery. I do things, I guess. I stream, I make, do graphic design stuff sometimes, and I used to do magic judging in the before times.
In the before times.
Yeah.
Do you know Slay the Spire, by the way?
I don't actually. I've never played Slay the Spire. I know the basic conceit is it's like a turn-based deck builder, but like other than that,
It is very
not much.
fun. I think I'm gonna, when I do get around to doing art and drawing stuff, I'm actually gonna be doing another Slay the Spire card. So
Oh yeah.
I'm currently like getting my inspiration going. So graphic design.
Mm-hmm.
Let's jump right into this. You said something about Comic Sans.
Yes.
You had a
I'm
take
very
about Comic
opinionated.
Sans.
I'm very opinionated about Comic Sans, yes.
I'm ready to hear it.
I think people are absolutely fucking wrong about Comic Sans, and people who generally despise Comic Sans it's kind of a little bit of a litmus test for whether or not they're into design as much. So that's my personal opinion. It's a super hot take.
See, I'm in this awkward place where like I kind of agree and I kind of don't. Like, you know what I'm going to use as a good example? Pepe the Frog. There is absolutely nothing inherently wrong with Pepe the Frog. But if I put Pepe the Frog on something, it's going to be read to have certain meanings and connotations that were not what I intended.
Okay, but at least the meanings and connotations behind Comic Sans are, you know, hashtag problematic. It's a little mimetic. But no, I think that Comic Sans is a well-designed font. I think it accomplishes exactly what it sets out to be, and that's to be a casual, easy to look at font that is very versatile. And it does all of that. It's just that people who are bad at design think it looks cute and put it on everything. I think the biggest crime that Comic Sans has is just that it's overused, nothing else.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean, and therein is the problem. If you use it, people assume you're bad at design. So it's like this catch where, like, you know, you can know as a designer that Comic Sans is fine, but
oh yeah, no, the well is very poisoned. The well
that's basically it. The well has been poisoned through no fault of Comic Sans.
Yeah.
I'm also trying to decide what card I want to do for Slay the Spire. So I don't know if you're looking on screen, but my previous Slay the Spire card was for a different character. But I have to fit it within this frame. So I'm actually limited to things that cost exactly 1 mana, and probably non-creatures as well. So I was considering Concordant Crossroads. Let me see, where is the? You know what? I'm gonna look for. Is it Pack-in Font in Windows because it was created for Microsoft Bob? I did not know that. Okay, showing off the advanced knowledge.
Yeah, yeah, Comic Sans also was originally, designed at an 8-bit size.
No way, really?
Font. Yeah, like this, Comic Sans is one of the, like, classic computer fonts.
That is very interesting. Especially because I've seen what it looks like with no aliasing at low sizes, and it's hideous.
It's when you don't have the computer auto fake aliasing I don't know how to phrase this. When the computer is auto generating the like edges, it doesn't look good. But if you take a look at like the original font, I'm trying to see if I can find an image here. Comic Sans.
So yeah, ALK knows Slay the Spire pretty well. I'm thinking I might do Concordant Crossroads as Burst, or like some art that's similar to this, the one that gives all creatures haste. I don't know, or just there's no 1 mana board wipes, so yeah, I don't know. Or I could do I already did. I'm sure there's plenty of, like, burn spells that would be so easy as the Ironclad that I'm leaving it for last, but,
I mean, is there any specific Slay the Spire, like, so would you want to find a card first that you can design around, or do you want to find, like, a character or aspect from Slay the Spire to try and represent in a Magic card?
So, the specific, let me open up. Let me actually.
I love being into the infinite.
Let me switch to that. Open up my file system. Yeah, some of the Slay the Spire card art is not good. Just very much not good. Let me find it. Okay. So this... There we go. This is my first one, which is... This isn't based on a specific existing art in the game. It's just like the character doing something that looks Mystic Speculation-y.
Gotcha.
So I don't know.
So it's more about the character than it is about like...
Yeah, this is more like I'm
specific
using the Slay the Spire frame to like showcase the cool characters and stuff.
Gotcha.
So, but that does kind of lend them more to instants and sorcery. So I don't know. I'm gonna just actually start doodling.
I think you could also probably... Is there like weapons in the game at all?
Not exactly.
Like unique weapon? No.
No, there are passive. If you've played The Binding of Isaac,
yeah,
it's a bit. So there are passive items that work like the Binding of Isaac items.
Gotcha.
And then,
so is there maybe like a passive item that you could represent with like with an artifact of some kind?
So the issue is that those items don't appear in cards.
Oh, gotcha. So you wouldn't really have a frame to reference for that. That makes sense.
Yeah, they just like... Oh, it's actually where my webcam is on the Slay the Spire feed is awkward. Okay, Slay the Spire silent. So yeah, so the silent is this cool lady. She's an assassin.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh,
that's very cool.
Let me just pull these in. So, what do you do? What is your main focus when it comes to graphic design?
Can you...
Like,
I'm not sure.
Like, what kinds of work do you do in graphic design specifically?
My main expertise is layout design and web design. So making like business cards or generic websites and stuff like that. I really like fonts. I'm very opinionated on fonts and typefaces and stuff like that. That's
I'm definitely in that
nerd
camp as well. I've joked on some of the streams where I've done cards like, yes, so now that the art and all this is done, I just now have to manually adjust the kerning for every single letter. I mean, I do have a couple fonts that I do actually have to do that with, but they are so cool looking that it's worth it. Let me pull it up. Laser 85, which is I have a commercial license for. It's one of very few that I actually do. Where is it?
I own exactly one commercial license.
Look at just look at it.
Oh, that's so bad.
It's incredibly bad, but the font itself is so cool.
I wonder if they didn't properly shear the side of that W, so the visual processor reads that W as like a single square as opposed to like a more shaped polygon that it can read. Does that make sense?
Yeah, usually certain letters connect fine. But yeah, if I'm working with this in drawing or something, I usually just rasterize it and manually move them around. In Photoshop, I just adjust the kerning manually.
Oh, for sure. And Photoshop has some really nice tools for very minute changes and that sort of thing.
Yeah, you have to type it like make the sign a glistener elf. What is glistener elf? Like, I'm totally if it works, it works. That's... I think I might see it. The only thing is, I'm pretty sure that the actual silent is a human. And I don't want to put, like... I don't know. Like, this is so close to perfect, but...
Could you maybe... No, I don't think that would work. Scratch my idea. Just gonna shoot that out of the air right now.
Yeah. Also, unfortunately, this is the character that I'm the absolute worst at playing. like I'm on. So the game has this thing called Ascension, where it gets as you beat it, you can play a mode where it gets progressively harder. So that
Mhm.
number is basically like how far you progress with the character. And my silent is like the lowest, other than the new character. So let me pull up the. Oh, that is not what I wanted to press. I am terrified to know what that just did to my layout. Where is it? So, I'm just trying to think. Oh yeah, let's see. There's a good. Yeah. She's definitely human.
Looking through Gather, just trying to like find 1 mana
Oh
enchantments and
yeah,
shit.
I had Scryfall terms that were like exactly 1 green mana. Okay, that's one of the other things that's a little difficult. Is this character is, if you want to analyze them through the Magic the Gathering color pie, is black, not green. So you kind of have. So I kind of also have to find like.
Aesthetically, they look very Golgari.
Yeah, a little bit of that. Okay. So I will try and I will look that up for a sec. So you also mentioned PS1 games in particular. Have you
Yeah.
seen? Yeah, have you been seeing the work I've been doing in that style
Oh, I've been
recently?
loving it. It's great. It's fantastic.
I have so
I
much
think you're pretty much nailing
nostalgia.
that vibe.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
have so much nostalgia for Crash Bandicoot in particular. Um,
Crash Bandicoot never was a part of my childhood,
mhm.
but please go on. I would love to hear about
So
Crash
so
Bandicoot.
that is actually so the Akiri, she's actually like, Akiri's background is the same as my Balaged Sanctuary model, more or less. I just took the same parts, rearranged them. That's one of the other cool things about working in 3D is it's getting easier the more I do it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, hmm. Effect is definitely artifact too, but whatever. Um.
Oh, that's it.
So yeah.
Yeah, is it guy right there?
Oh yeah, he's also kind of is it. All right, so let me. Oh, there we go. So I think I'm gonna do something where it's just the silent kinda. So what about you? What are the defining games that were like from that era?
Yeah, so Spyro the Dragon is my like go-to nostalgia game.
Mm-hmm.
I love that game series to death. The original trilogy is the best, and it peaked and sadly has never gotten good since then. But
Spyro couldn't hold a gun.
yeah, no, he had to leave that up to his dragonfly. Just fucking fucking Sparks holding a gun.
Do you know what I'm referencing?
I don't
Oh, it's
actually.
the reason that the Spyro the Dragon series got killed.
What?
How are you? The quote is, "How are you supposed to make more Spyro games? He can't even hold a gun." I wish I was
What?
making that up.
What?
Yup.
That's so off. I pretty much so like after they just completely deviated from the original like style of the game, I just gave up. Like everything to do with like Cinder and like the Eternal Night saga, I can't remember what that was called. Like
Oh, I've got to change my
Skylanders.
title. It says I'm still cooking with my girlfriend.
Yeah,
Whoops.
I don't believe we are cooking, and I am definitely not Awkward Marina. So,
What should I just put? Britton Avery or
Avery, yeah,
with
that's fine.
Avery? All right.
Yeah,
Art and chat with
I
Avery.
will. I will give you that, Apple Shy. I definitely played the shit out of Season of Ice. The Spyro handhelds were pretty solid, and a really good translation of the original games to like that like isometric form. No, I'll give you that one. That's for sure. But the
I'm
like
not familiar with
main
the game you're
game
talking
games.
about.
Yeah, oh, so they had this entire line of GBA games, Game Boy Advance games that was like this isometric top down.
That was one of the
Um,
weird. There's a Banjo Kazooie game that's isometric on the Game Boy Advance. That was
It's
such
very
a
similar to that. I know
weird.
what game you're talking about. Yeah, it's very similar to that. It would actually not surprise me if they were probably like done by the same studios, because like
That
at that
was.
time they were doing a whole lot of like, oh, we want to take this game and make it handheld.
There were so many of. I remember seeing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater in 2D and just wanting to die a little inside.
Didn't
Tony
they
Hawk.
have a didn't they port frickin' Resident Evil to the Game Boy Advance
Okay,
too, I think?
with 3D, like terrible GBA 3D,
Yeah,
or
with terrible GBA 3D. It
oh my
was
god.
awful. It was either the Game Boy or like I know they ported a Resident Evil game to some handheld device. I'm not sure which one. But yeah, Spyro and Crash crossover game was also another GBA game. I think that was different though, a different studio. I could be wrong on that. Than the Season of Ice and Season of Flame games. Um, Sorry, just hard cut to chatting with chat there in the middle of this thought I had. Do that. So
Yeah, so I, as a kid, my parents weren't like very pro video games, which, like, I don't know if I thank them or really don't. I'm like kind of mixed. Um, but my neighbors had Crash and Spyro and a couple games, but Crash was my favorite. Crash 1, which is funny because nowadays people look back on that one like as the one that had terrible, terrible controls, like was really really just kind of full of design mistakes, but it had
mhm.
so much personality. I loved, and one of the things that I loved about that era was like the bad texture mapping that would give
Yes, and it would glitch all over the place.
objects like this kind of ethereal form where they would actually like change shape depending on their position.
Do you know why that happens?
I know a variety of reasons it could happen, but what's the specific one?
So the specific reason, the long and short, is that the way that they mapped the vertices of the polygons was a precise kind of math. I can't remember the specific term for it, but it couldn't do partial coordinates, so it
Mm.
had to be at whole numbers. So as you would move around and change, and its coordinates would change relatively, it would like jump between half points, and it couldn't figure out where it wanted to be.
Yeah, I had a feeling that there was some kind of floating number rounding that
Yeah,
was
that's yeah. It's the like there's a lack of floating number
mm-hmm,
rounding. Yeah,
or maybe insufficient precision.
I can't remember the exact terms for it, but yeah, you're hitting the right thing. Ah, I'm sorry.
It
Stumbling
did
over my words.
add a lot of personality though. Resident Evil Gaiden? Is that a real thing? Did you just make that up? With a Game Boy Advance.
I've never heard
Game
of
Boy
this game.
Color? Oh my god.
There's a Game Boy Color, like what is this style called? It's like flat and your side scroller
Mm-hmm.
type kind of, but not really. I don't know how to describe it. It's the standard like kind of top-down puzzle map for like Game Boy Color games, right?
Got it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The Game Boy Color game where you match some kind of rectangle to complete the puzzle.
Yeah. But no, that is not the specific thing I'm talking about when I was saying that they ported Resident Evil to Game Boy.
Is
As
it like
much
the
as
same way they
wild as
ported
that is.
Doom to Game Boy?
Basically,
That's
I'm
amazing.
trying to look this up. Was it Resident Evil 2 for the Game Boy Advance? Is that what it was? Oh, Google, why will you not let me hit enter?
Oh yeah, and block pushing games. That was the Game Boy Color game.
Oh, God. Okay, I'm gonna send you. I just found a photo. You gotta see. This is a screenshot from the Game Boy Advance game.
Oh
You
my
gotta.
god. Oh my god.
It's so bad.
Oh my. I'm not gonna lie though. A Game Boy Advance did this?
Yeah, like it's kind of impressive.
That's more than kind of impressive. I have to imagine the frame rate was like 2. But yeah, that's
Yeah, it's a 1-to-1 port well, not 1-to-1. I believe a lot of the puzzles have been changed to work for the Game Boy Advance a lot better. But like as far as the map and the walking around and shit, it's like it's a 1-to-1 recreation.
so I've never played Resident Evil, any of them, ever. What was the what does what does that entail then? Like recreating it one I know that they're focused on exploring an enclosed space, which is one of the reasons they were so good early on.
Well, particularly those games had a fixed camera that that would like kind of move along with your character as you would walk across this you know,
Oh, so they
landscape and area.
utilized pre-rendered 3D backgrounds?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Ah, yeah, that'll do it.
So there's a lot of stuff that is like live rendered, but it becomes a lot easier because it's fake rendering. It's
Mm-hmm.
they can cheat basically.
I mean, so
So,
much early 3D was cheating. Like,
well, I mean, if we're gonna be honest, all 3D graphics is some form of cheating. Like light doesn't work that way, but we've tricked the computer into thinking what light
I
works
mean,
that way.
ray tracing is becoming a thing.
That's still like yeah, ray tracing mimics and cheats what light actually does.
Well, it does it backwards, but you know,
Yeah.
it's a much more accurate simulation than the idea that like light just chooses a couple points on a surface and says, "Okay, I'm this bright here and this bright here, so I'm just gonna interpolate between those points."
Yeah, I'm just gonna say all art is cheating at this point, and you just need to be able to recreate things 1-to-1, 100%.
Yeah, honestly, if you haven't even simulated the entire universe, what are
Yeah,
you
right.
doing? This is this Silent Skull looks highly cursed. That is not correct at all. Let's move this. Oh. Yeah, I have a definite love for that era of stuff from cuz early on N64 games got emulated really well, really relatively quickly. Um
Really?
I mean compared to when they were coming out.
Sure.
Like the N60 like only like 6 years later did they have more or less perfect emulation, which is pretty remarkably fast, especially when you compare it to like PS2 emulation is still not perfect.
Yeah, for sure.
GameCube is, but that's GameCube and also Wii because Nintendo is weird.
Is okay, but I've never actually tried to emulate a Wii game. How does the motion control work with
Um
that?
so one of the things that you can do is you just map you basically just trick the Okay, so there's a couple things that can be done. One is you use a mouse pointer of some kind. Um,
Okay, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Another is you can just create pre-made like sequences of motions and map them to a button. I played through Skyward
Oh.
Sword like that, and it was really good.
I can imagine Skyward Sword would be pretty easy to scum that.
Yeah, there is. I don't remember exactly, but I think someone had. Oh, I forgot to bring chat back up. I think someone. Oh, hey Lou. I think someone had created this like thing where it would map a second stick, like where the right hand stick, and certain motions would equal certain like motions of the sword and stuff.
Oh, interesting.
So you were able to play through Skyward Sword with button mapping, which is really cool. Aside from like a couple spots where you had to just put it down and use the mouse. Alternately, you can just connect Wiimotes to a computer. It's actually not that hard.
Really?
They're Bluetooth.
What?
Mm-hmm.
No
They're
shit.
just regular old Bluetooth. I used to use Wiimotes as my controllers for my jailbroken my jailbroken iPad when I was playing like emulated like Super NES games. I would just use Wiimotes as the controllers.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. The Wiimote was kind of an amazing piece of technology just in general. Like,
it does seem like at least compare, like, I don't know the technology behind it, but compared to what Sony and Microsoft both tried and fucking failed to do, right? Like, definitely is impressive.
mm-hmm.
What about it, like, going on the inside that makes it so interesting, though?
It's just that the Wiimote packs a kind of absurd number of sensors into an extremely small and extremely cheap package. Like that's the thing that's so interesting.
Oh yeah.
Like it's not what it does, but it's that they were able to get it done at that manufacturing price. It's got like a bunch of, and part of it is because a lot of the detection is smoke and mirrors. Like a lot of the so-called motion control is really just that it's got a camera in it that can see the infrared bar. That's why the Wii Motion Plus was comparatively expensive.
Oh, what? What did the Wii Motion Plus do?
It added I forget if it was more accelerometers. Basically, so the Wii remote could tell if it was moving in certain directions. It could tell like if it was being rotated but not with much precision. And it could tell where it was pointing as long as it could see the sensor bar, which is why stuff like point and aim worked so well. I think where it was weaker was in stuff like precise one-to-one motion, basically. It just didn't have enough either precision or a high enough count of accelerometers to tell.
Gotcha. That's really interesting.
I feel like this drawing might be a little... I might discard this one and start a new one.
It's just like not quite forming together. Just
it's
need
not
to
quite coming together right. Maybe I need to. Let's see if this fixes my issues with it. So, what else is on our dartboard of topics? Remember, you listed like a bunch of things I found fascinating.
Oh, I have one. Did you hear about Sans Minecraft coming to Fortnite?
I did hear about that. Okay, so my hot take about that is you can tell how much people interact with children based on if they think that that's cool or not cool. Like, you sounded like you had something you were gonna say.
No, please I would like you to finish this thought.
So there are people who are like, how could this possibly happen? This is so dumb. Why would anyone do this? And then there are people who are like, my kids are gonna be so excited. Or for me, my students are gonna be so excited.
I don't even care. I have like at least 3,000 hours in Minecraft.
That's the other thing. Is like, who doesn't?
Like, this is awesome. It's next level shit posting, but I love it.
I like honestly. I got into a hot debate on this over on Trapixium's stream, which I was just kind of hanging out in chat for a bit before this. But Minecraft is if you're gonna put it on any lists, The only argument is if it takes number 1 or not.
Yeah.
And by Nintendo's metrics, it's the best-selling game of all time.
Yeah.
I think
guess
it is.
that's also very fair. I didn't even think about just a strict like numbers game here, but yeah, that's a really smart play.
Like this is. I know people are like, how dare they let Nintendo, like, how dare Nintendo let Steve appear in Smash? Like they're dignifying Minecraft? Like, no, that's not how this works.
I do love, like, yes, things happen in corporations that are separate from a strict drive for money, but like I love when people just completely leave that context out. Like, why are they doing this? I don't know, because Minecraft is really popular. That's a pretty easy explanation, y'all.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I haven't like actively seen anyone like really hating on this idea. I think it's fun. I think it's going to be fine. I haven't really been actively playing Smash in a while. I saw someone say like they were disappointed that in what his kit looked like, which is a much more I can respect that because they're actually looking at the thing in front of them and making a judgment on it rather than being like, I'm going to judge a game that I probably have 3,000 hours in. And is certainly one of the most beloved games of all time.
like, yeah, I Minecraft is a game that you could say has had a massive cultural impact.
I am of the opinion that it is the most influential game of all time. Somebody said they thought it was Pac-Man, which maybe. Though Pac-Man's already in Smash, so I don't know.
It's hard because I think the hard question here is what do we determine as influential? I think Minecraft absolutely has the potential of being the most influential video game of all time, but right now it's still kind of too young to be that. Right? But it's still
Minecraft has been around for 10 years.
Oh, I'm aware, but like it's a massively influential game. I'm just saying, as far as like top 10 most influential games of all time, I still think like it needs to have had more long-term impact.
Maybe, but I feel like Minecraft is the game that took video games from being here's that thing that culturally othered nerds do and changed it into here's this thing that every kid on Earth has played. I mean, like, not on Earth, but you know what I mean. I feel like Minecraft is the reason that games have had a complete, like, phase change of how they're perceived culturally.
I suppose, it did really kind of come out in that smartphone era, and when smartphones were in their heyday, like you had the Minecraft Pocket Edition for all of these kids to be able to just download and play. Like I never touched that, but that is absolutely like an interesting point there. So
yeah. I think that I know Darth Vader has near total global cultural recognition. I wonder if anyone's done surveying on the creeper face in that regard.
That would be really interesting.
Because I think the creeper face might be like one of the most might be Pikachu tier in terms of like how widely it would be recognized.
I think we are definitely at the very minimum approaching it, eclipsing like Pikachu tier.
Yeah. So as ALK said, Mario is very globally recognized, though. It's like I'm kind of copping out by saying individual game because Mario's recognized from like a bunch of games. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Steven's still on the Pac-Man. Pac-Man's already in.
I would love to hear you argue for why you think Pac-Man is as influential as you think it is.
Yeah, there's definitely See, okay, so for me, I think what's interesting about Pac-Man is that while I do think it's one of the most influential games that ever existed, it is not a matter of Pac-Man did something that no other game could. I think Pac-Man happened to be in the right place at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Minecraft, I believe, did something truly, wholly, nothing else was going to do. That's my argument against Pac-Man.
Gotcha. That tracks.
This is
I still feel like I still feel I'm gonna put my foot down on. I think it's had an absolutely massive cultural impact, but I still feel we need to give it more time for its influences to actually reach like outside media and grow from there. Before we can call it like an influential game of the genre, but
I,
that's probably just splitting hairs at that point. I don't know.
yeah, for me, the question is like, is it one of the most influential or is it the most influential?
Yeah. And I suppose the other question is like influential in what regard? Like if we're talking about like revolutionized a certain aspect of the gaming industry, like I don't know, probably still yes on that regard, but in a very specific way.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, that was a weird tangent.
It's all right.
uh
I mean, it's on everybody's minds. Nobody's complaining. How
yeah.
dare you talk about this thing that apparently took down Twitter? I was asleep, so I missed that.
That's so funny to me. I love everything about that. And when I first saw the image, I just was scrolling through and I saw the image posted by somebody who is regularly known for their Super Smash Bros. Shit posts. So I just kind of chuckled and moved on. Like,
You were like,
haha, yeah, they
haha, good
would.
joke.
Yeah, and it was just all they did was post the screenshot from the announcement and no other context. And I just was like, haha, very funny. Good shit post. That's a decent Blender render.
And if only you had known.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then later you're like, why
5 minutes
is Twitter
later.
not work?
Why is everybody going crazy over this shit post? I know it's a good meme, but come on, y'all.
I mean, like that's the thing though. I just my take is that Steve Minecraft in Smash is just not a meme. It's just on every axis it makes total sense.
Yeah, like I don't think if you asked me at any point before this announcement and said, "Do you think that they'll add Steve Minecraft to Smash?" I would probably be like, "Yeah, probably eventually. I would see that." Like
Yeah,
at
it was one
any
of the ones I
point.
figured would happen in the first round.
At
I'm
the very minimum, like I would have expected, a Sans treatment or like a Smash trophy is a creeper or something like
See,
that.
I always thought it would be really interesting to do a Minecraft trophy, because it would be really interesting to have blocks like start appearing on the screen, and then a bunch of lit TNT drops down and blows it all up.
Hmm.
That sort of
You
thing.
know what would be really interesting is if you could like repair people's commands and give them like some way to place blocks, like not break blocks, like maybe it's their taunt button or something like that, and they
Hmm.
can place blocks during that period of time, and then the TNT comes down or something like that, make it interactive.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. I haven't actually watched the. You know what? You know what? Let's go on a tangent here. I'm gonna
Are we
quickly
gonna watch the announcement?
Steve Minecraft Smash moveset. There we go. Perfect.
I just love that the 100% accepted last name for him is just Minecraft. Like, yes, Steve Minecraft.
All right. Let's see. Yada yada yada. Okay. So he's interesting. Looks like Oh, yep, can place blocks. So that is
cool.
what I want. That is what I was hoping, is that there would be something interesting
Very
about
cool.
the okay, so yeah, I am now totally on board. This looks
This is
awesome.
super cool. Okay, yeah. I hadn't actually seen the announcement trailer either,
See, I
so.
was okay, so my concern was just like, hey, it's Link.
And
It's
they're doing
literally
Alex
just
too.
Link.
Cool.
I
Yeah. No, this is super unique. This is real fucking interesting.
yeah, Enderman skin. That's really funny. Um
It is really funny to be on a slight delay here with your voice of
yeah.
the Twitch video.
Oh well.
So is that the stage that you picked?
Oh, so the final smash is just a giant piston with oh my god!
That's so good.
That was amazing. Yeah, this is awesome. I don't know. I haven't really seen serious complaints, but I know that they were happening. Anyone who doesn't like that is just like,
Yeah,
I
they're
hate
just
fun, or perhaps a little too attached to Waluigi, which I don't think is gonna happen.
or like
I
needs
love
to be.
Waluigi. I wish it would happen, but sometimes you got to move on.
Oh, for sure.
Sometimes all memes must die. That fun, yeah. Honestly, like I love how a bunch of those feel like authentically like Minecraft YouTube videos where like somebody used their pirated copy of Cinema 4D in like 2000, I want to say 2010, to
God,
like do
fucking
Minecraft
nice.
animations.
I got into Cinema 4D specifically to do Minecraft animation in 2012.
Listen. I had a feeling I might be adding you.
Yep, 100%. That was
Mm. I use
nail
Cinema
on the
just
head.
I use Cinema just because I happen to have a commercial license for it. Like the my dad uses it for architectural rendering, and the reason I have a genuinely absurdly powerful computer is because he occasionally uses it to render frames. Um so, you know, I might as well use what I already have and have known how to use since I was pretty young. Yeah, all right. This looks like good silent. I'm okay with this.
That's so interesting how you put like do the shading on your
Yeah, it's oh, I do have to flip it horizontally though. It's a thing that I learned. It's a trick in watercolor painting where you can't make actual in watercolors. It's actually very difficult to change value. But if I take a, let me just place a completely gray circle. So if I yellow there, and let me make this is also the same value. One of these sides, despite there being no difference in brightness between these three places, one reads as dark and one reads as light and one reads as a midpoint. That's why when I do shadow stuff like that, I'm kind of using those gradients and stuff. What is this? Twitter notification. Oh, another
Oh,
oops.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see that one. But yeah, it is there is a, do you do any kind of like drawing, or is it all
I do. I'm not. I'm super self-conscious about it, so I don't really post it. A
That's
lot of my
fair.
stuff on Twitter generally, like there's a certain level of expectation I set for myself on the art that I'll share,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't hit that expectation a lot. So
I used to be like that, but then I just started going for it, which leads to let me find it real quick. Let me find it. Oh dear, that's a secret project. Um,
oh, don't want to.
don't want to reveal the secret project. I mean, it's hardly a secret because I've already posted it on Patreon, so a bunch of people know it. But let me find.
Quickly, someone clip that.
Don't do that. Let me find it. It's the worst thing I've ever drawn. No, this is not the thing about the land arts. No, I have two secret projects. One is a music video that I'm doing with someone, not magic related. It's just a music video. And where is Elspeth? Where is? All right, I'll just hit E. Oh, there it is. Sometimes you just gotta go for it. And sometimes you're not proud of what you did after the fact. It's real bad. It's just really bad.
I am not gonna say anything.
No one is as savage about this. Listen, by definition, I need to have a single worst illustration I've ever done, or at least done recently. So one of them had to be it. It's that one.
There it is. There's the floor. It can only get better.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I've been considering like just going back and redoing it, but not particularly motivated to do that. I don't know. Yeah, you have a worse video, but it's all of them? Yeah, I have a worse YouTube video, but I don't have any... Well, I guess I do have, like... I have the one with me and my girlfriend where she guessed the price of a bunch of reserve list cards, and it was hysterical. It was hysterical.
I have not seen this video. That sounds so good.
To quote her... Well, this Wheel of Fortune looks like a pretty good card. A lot of people probably want it, so I'm gonna say like $3.
Holy shit!
Which, you know, that's what a normal person thinks Magic cards should be worth.
Yeah.
Like, she understands the game and how the rules work, but she's never bought cards herself, so she has, like, no... It's really useful to have someone around who's like who plays Magic but is not enfranchised, because I can like when I'm doing one of my more outlandish frames, I can just show it to her and be like, "What does this do?" I just call it the Marina test. You know what doesn't pass the Marina test? The official frames for the MDFC lands.
Oh, I believe that.
Because that tiny little thing at the bottom is like nobody sees that. It's not... That's why mine have like an entire 1/7 of the card is devoted to that reminder text. Like it's big. Let me find it.
Yeah. I do really like the name cassette lands for them.
I do. That was you that did the cassette drawings, right?
No, well, yes, but that was, I'm not going to claim ownership of the term. The first place I heard it was Tolarian Academy. Tolarian Academy, I think, what's the term? Penned it, minted it, whatever.
Coined it.
Like, oh, coined, yeah. Thank you. Coined it, and I was like, "Oh, that's brilliant!" And I had to do some mock-ups for that.
Yeah, I think if you might want to see if you can get... Is it possible to get your hands on actual cassette tapes anymore?
Oh, I know how to.
Because you could just like get yourself a silver Sharpie and just like actually write it on at the top at that angle.
I'm gonna do some. I have a project now. Thank you. I have a project now. I'm going to go hide for a bit with that another day, and but I'm gonna go buy a bunch of cassette tapes, and then shit, damn it! How much do they cost? How much do the MDFC cards cost?
I have no idea. I don't buy Magic cards anymore.
I know. Like, I haven't been like... I've sold cards through the pandemic, but like I've just basically walked in, handed a stack to my local game store and just said, "Price this out for me."
Mm,
Like, I have not bothered that much,
yeah.
but
I mean, for me, it's like it's a halfway moral thing and a halfway like my normal job is so disrupted by the pandemic, which is being a teacher, that I'm like intermittently out of work, and I'm fortunate enough to be doing okay, but like that means like luxury products like cardboard that costs more than 20 cents is out of the question.
yeah, right.
Which is you know what, I almost mentioned a certain secret layer, but I'm not gonna. I will have restraint. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah,
Nobody likes that. Nobody wants to hear it.
everyone disliked it.
I
I think we all understand.
What's
No,
don't
no,
no
crap!
no no, you're not allowed to do that. Banned.
Just
Parsley moral, parsley fuck. Yeah, I'm like, I definitely am feeling okay with having decided to not buy products. Some people have. What's interesting is like, I'm still not missing out because I don't play formats where WotC incentivizes with prize money, so it doesn't matter if I'm using proxies. And even beyond that, a couple people have like bought me things or donated stuff, which is really nice. I got donated the Rogues Tribal commander deck, which is it hasn't arrived yet, but I'm looking forward to looking through that. I actually don't know what's even in it. That says a lot. Like I still to this day do not know how you bought Double Masters or what it even was.
what was there a special way that you did it?
I
Was
have
it?
no idea. Like, what were the packs? I know there was $100 pack and like a something else.
I'm gonna be
And
honest with you. Like, so I I have not been great financially. Don't want to go into it too much, but
Mhm.
it's like I have been avoiding really thinking too much about Magic in general.
Yeah, it's just
Uh, it
it's
well,
nowadays you got to prioritize properly.
yeah.
There's
As a
absolutely no shame in that, and it's weird that some people want to shame that. It's
yeah.
really unhealthily weird.
Well, I on a personal aside, like uh I'm a veteran of gotcha games, right? Like
Mm,
I'm no stranger to games that gambling is a direct part of the mechanic, right? And I stopped playing gotcha games because I could see it was developing bad gambling habits in me and I
mhm.
didn't like it. And yeah, and a large part of that was the constant like exclusive, like, oh, you can only get this character for this one day and you'll never see them again for the next, like, 5 years kind of a thing. And it like that fear of missing out and wanting, I one time, being perfectly honest, like I spent $200 trying to get a single 5-star character in Fate Grand Order, and that was the day I quit the game Fate Grand Order because it was just too much.
Mhm.
And Magic, the constant deluge of limited time products is making me feel very similarly.
Yeah,
Like I don't want to feel stressed to get this product now.
I was the same. I think I had it with Overwatch very briefly. Where I was like, "Oh, this skin that I want is, limited time only. I better buy friggin' holiday whatevers." And it's just like, "No. No, you don't need to do that." But
Mhm.
yeah, so when I've always like when I was outside of Magic, I knew that Magic was criticized for being like gambly, and I always felt like it was worth defending because the whole point of randomized stuff for packs was that drafting is a way that you play the game, and the idea at the time that made sense is yes, this has this randomization that it is the happy intersection of business and making the game good, but that
Mhm.
has clearly stopped being the case.
Yeah. Like for me, I always justified it differently than gotcha games is because, like, for one thing, you get an actual product that you can sell, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like, with a gotcha game, it's against the terms of service to sell your account, right? So even if you are spending money, you can get a lot of money back. I probably am fairly net neutral, or net neutral. Yeah, net neutral with my spending with Magic at this point, I think. Right, but that's because I never felt stressed to buy product now. I never felt stressed like I had to go do things, like, other than like pre-releases, right? It was never like, oh, I need to do a thing because otherwise I will never get this chance again, right? I could
Yeah.
always get a pack. I could always buy singles and stuff like that. And like those singles generally stay decently priced. You know, obviously there are your high value cards. Thank you, EDH.
I mean, it at least used to feel that, like, if cards ended up being like that, it was because the way that they had intended things to work didn't happen.
Mm-hmm. There wasn't an implicit we all understand that at some, like, there are a limited stock of cards, right? We all understand that by all accounts there is not an infinite supply of cards, but there's no implicit, like, there is an explicitly limited amount of cards
Mm-hmm.
that you are only allowed to get at this time.
Yeah, aside from things like the reserve list, which I take them at their word when they say they would get rid of it in a heartbeat if they could,
Yeah.
and that it's mainly Hasbro's lawyers that just don't wanna open it. Like that, I believe, but then they get into the thing where, like, so what if we just the problem is then, like, because the reserve list seems like it was helping nobody. They couldn't monetize those high power cards, and nobody, and it's harder for people to play them. So now it just feels like they're like, but what if we recreate the reserve list with only the parts that are bad for players?
It genuinely feels to me like I would love to be able to see the makeup of Hasbro's board of directors and stuff, because I'm really curious if an executive has recently come on in the past, I'd say like 5 years, and basically is pushing, trying to take advantage of the secondary market without, all of the legality that comes with acknowledging the secondary market,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Like, I'm very curious about, like, the business decisions that are going on in the background here, because it very much looks to me like a similar situation of like the Toys R Us buyout, right?
Mm.
Where, like, you buy out the company, you sell off all of, you try and like make as much profit as you can in a short amount of time, and then just discard the empty husk.
Yeah, I do wonder if there is, like, an internal battle for Magic's soul going on behind the scenes that none of us get to
Yeah.
see.
Like, I 100% believe, like, I've met Gavin, well, I haven't met Morrow, but like I've met plenty of people who've met Morrow. Like, I believe that these people genuinely care and love and want to see the best for Magic. So it makes me feel like a lot of these, like, really obviously shit decisions are probably coming from an executive more than like somebody who actually is involved with the game.
Mm-hmm.
And not that WotC is immune to bad decision making. I'm just talking about the real obviously egregious shit.
What is the TRU bankruptcy? Oh, Toys R Us, right.
Oh, that makes sense. I didn't even think about, but yeah, Hasbro, uh, a massive point of their sales probably came from Toys R Us storefronts.
I didn't even know that they owned it. Or
Did Hasbro own Toys R Us? But I'm just saying, like, they had a lot of toys. Like, Hasbro makes
mm-hmm.
toys, right?
At least in theory.
Mhm. Games, toys, that kind of shit. Like, I don't know. But yeah, like,
Mm.
It's interesting, and that's the kind of questions that I don't think we're ever gonna have answers to. Like
Yeah.
that shit doesn't get talked about outside of boardrooms,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, even if the involved parties like resigned over this, they would still be under NDA. So
Yeah,
nobody will ever. We will never know.
yeah,
Hmm.
that's fair. Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be a weird one for Magic to come out of this funk.
Well, I'm very happy with how this Silent Skull came out.
It's looking real good. I really like the cracks and the way that you've like shaded them to give them depth.
Mm-hmm. Let me see. I'm gonna actually snag that green for some glow. So let's. What was some of the other stuff on that? I mentioned I did my whole tweet and was like, oh, here's a bunch of fun things to talk about that aren't magic, and yet here we are. It's so hard.
It is so fucking hard. It's uh it feels like I don't know, Magic to me. I know we're gonna just say it, but it's like it's so not actually matters, right? So it's so easy to just vent about
That
and
is
not feel actually stressed.
that is actually
Like
one of the reasons it was so fun to get mad about that secret lair is because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter at
I
all.
know,
It doesn't matter at all. Whereas the things that matter right now are just exhausting. I
yeah,
don't have mental energy for them. But a
yeah.
secret lair, oh my god, let's go.
Like the amount of energy I had for it is just like I was just my favorite tweet about it was just Watsy is a sellout. Just that is how I feel about the entire situation. And I'm going to just get mad that way.
It's funny because like I love making crossover cards. I love the idea
Yeah,
of it. It's just like they were so close to greatness.
yeah.
Just one little detail is not in the right place.
Uh, well, let's see. We have gender is a fuck.
Okay, so you
Uh,
mentioned gender accessories, and I'm curious what you meant by that.
I was okay. That was me just shit posting. I was referencing the Hank Hill's propane and propane accessories. My
Mm,
expertise is gender and gender accessories.
got it. I have never seen King of the Hill, so
I only know King of the Hill through memes.
got it.
I'm a fake fan. I don't even claim to be a fan, but I'm a big fat phony. Yeah, I don't know. Synthwave is good.
I would agree with that. Raina, do you need help? Oh, never mind. You're already in. My
I
girlfriend just
used
got home.
to.
Okay. So let's hear. Let's. I want to hear what synthwave music you listen to. So my personal favorite is Wave Shaper.
Mhm.
Have you heard of Wave Shaper?
I have not.
Well, I would think you're missing out, but what's your Rex? Let's
Wait a
hear
minute.
it. Unfortunately, I probably can't play them on stream.
Why do I recognize this album art? Um. Oh, they appeared on an album of an artist I like a lot. Probably my quintessential, like if you want to know the exact feeling of synthwave I enjoy, the best is Dance with the Dead?
Dance with the Dead's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Dance for the Yeah. Yeah, Dance with the Dead. Nope, that's their name. I could not remember it was a Dance for the Dead, Dance with the Dead. Anyway, they're my favorite. They're a classic. I like dark synthwave more than the lighter stuff. But like not like uncomfortably dark,
Mm,
that almost macabre kind of weird shit that sometimes comes up. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about at all, but
I don't know if I do.
there's
I might.
it's kind of more vaporwave sound, like almost more dark vaporwave than dark synth of a
Hmm.
sound. But it's weird. It's hard to describe. But Dance with the Dead's probably my favorite. I'm also a big fan of Lamatos, I think is how you say their name. They're a French band, and they make a lot of really really good bops. They're pretty consistently good.
All right. We should probably start getting people together for Among Us in a little bit.
Yeah.
I know
Do we have
ALK wanted to join. Steven said he was interested. So for those who might be listening and who are not in my Discord, here, let me go to this thing real quick. I'm just gonna pull up the link to my Discord, which is where we shall be hosting it. When we do that. Let me see. Yeah, I think we're probably gonna take a couple minutes anyway. Could take a quick break, grab a drink, go to the bathroom, whatever. I'm also gonna put out an APB, like gonna be starting the Among Us part of the stream in a few for anyone who wants to join. But yeah, if you gotta go to the bathroom or grab anything, I would say go for it.
Do you mind if I do a quick plug real quick?
Go for it.
Thank you. All right, so this is the first time I'm really announcing it. But